What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, coming at you again today with another daily trade review. Actually gonna get this one out of the way a little early today. I don't foresee myself taking another trade, but you never know. So we'll still get it out of the way. Today was a green day, good solid green day. Got to trading about an hour after the market opened, and we saw AMC, we saw GME, we saw quite a bit of the meme stocks running. So ended up just watching AMC run like crazy and ended up taking a trade once it got to the top side, playing it back down. So let's go ahead. Let's pull up the thumbnail watch list. Take a peek at what we were watching. As you see, the markets are still moving. But we had on the watch list, just starting out this morning, AMD, Apple, and Coin for ideas to try to get some option trades in. Of course, we have the markets on there always. We had CGEM, Ride, and BWV on the watch list for some stock plays. And those were primarily on there just because I was listening in on Relentless Traders chat room and people were calling them out. So usually if someone calls something out, I'll just kind of drop it over on my thumbnail watch list, especially in this market right now where I'm not filling my watch list up every day. I'll drop those on there just to kind of see what they were doing. Ride did have a trade that I missed, which is right down here. I'm gonna blow this one up real quick. If we see, look what Ride did this morning. It opened, and actually I need to bring this over. There we go. That's the entire morning. So it opened and sold off and curled back above previous day's high. I've been calling that PDH, previous day's high. And had a nice breakout. And I missed that. I would have loved to taken a trade right here. And this thing did a nice move. And we see that it's just kind of just channel trading now. But every area that I had marked on the chart, it pretty much blew through. After this move, I really was expecting maybe a little pullback and then maybe try to get into it. But it basically blew through every area I had marked on the chart. So missed that trade. But like I said, AMC, we saw it making a nice move up, and we'll look at that on the big charts once we get to reviewing. So I'm gonna go ahead, switch on over to TRADERVUE, and you see we took two trades, reviewing trades for May 12th. I'm sorry, May 12th, Thursday. Took two trades, and you notice both of them were at the same exact time for the most part. I had bought one contract. We'll look at the details real quick. Oops. Let's go back. Detail. There we go. So this was a March 13th, 22 put. Bought one of them. Made $35 off of that one. But once I saw it, and I'm like, well, let me grab another one. And this one we bought two. But instead of March 13th, we bought I keep saying March. Instead of May 13th, we bought May 20 puts. I bought these with the intentions on holding them till the end of the day. I thought that AMC would just kind of bleed off the rest of the day after making that move. And it didn't. So I ended up getting out of these contracts. And we made $71 on those. And then I also had some in my main account, sold those as well. Figure, let's go ahead and take the profit. Let's go ahead, let's take these gains and keep it moving. So that was our 2 trades for the morning in the small account. And let's go ahead. We'll go ahead, bring up the charts, take a look at what we traded and how and why we traded it. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up AMC. You see, I'm just here trying to see what the market is going to do. SPY has been the SPY, I guess you could say. But this was AMC. Look at what that thing did. It went from previous day's low, calling that PDL now, just so I quit having to say it all. So it went from the PDL all the way up, busted through. This I put on the chart after I was in the trade. So it came all the way up to the previous day's high, came all the way up to the 50 moving average, set this nice high of 1371. And I was like, what goes up has to come back down on a move like this. Let's look at this on the, let's look at the 5-minute real quick. So look at that thing on the 5-minute chart. Just huge green candles going up. So I was like, I want to be a part of this trade. And my first area was down here. This was my first area. And then I just kind of managed it out. So let's get back on the 2-minute and we'll kind of watch it as I kind of managed it out. Bring that back over and let's find our areas of entry. And we entered in these contracts and pretty much got out of them at the same areas. So let us see. We got in at 1028. 1028. Where is 1028 at? Right there. So we got in these at 1028 and 20 seconds. This was the one single one. And let's see what time we got into those two. 1028 and 43 seconds. So as it was breaking the 50 moving average. And again, thought was, let's play this back down to previous day's high. We know we're going to probably get a little bit of bounce off of that. So we'll ride it back down. But our mindset changed as we kind of managed these. So I'm going to put where we got out at, and then I'll kind of walk through my thought process on how I managed them. And then why you see this line right here on the chart. So we got out of these at 12:23. So that was the single. And let's see where we got out of the two at. 12:21. So got out a little earlier on those. And these were stop outs. These weren't me getting out of the trade. These are where we stopped out at. So we see, like I said, AMC made this crazy move. That was a $4 move in like 20 minutes. And once we got this top and tail, we were getting a little top and tails the entire way up, but got this top and tail here, and then the next candle was a red candle. So we had these nice 4 wide range candles, and then we get this red candle with decent volume. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take one contract, just see what it does. See what it does. Let's go ahead and let's try to play that one out. Once we saw selling pressure coming in even further, that's when I said, all right, I'm going to take 2 more, and I'm going to just, the plan was to hold those to the end of the day. And we'll ride it down to here, and then thought was to get out at that point. But once it came down, I said, let's not be so hasty. Let's see if we get a pullback a retest, and then it starts coming back. And then we'll get out on this top side. So we see it did come back up, drop back down again. Then it came back up and it set this higher low. Now I'm like, okay, this might be turning. We'll wait, see if we get another higher high, higher low. We're already in the money good. So once this thing came up, it set the higher high and it came back. I was expecting the pullback to be about right here. So when it came down a little further and almost retested here, I was like, all right, now I think sellers is back in control. And we see that's exactly what it was. Ended up setting a lower high, came back down, retesting previous day's high, came back and it busted through it. So now I'm looking for the next area on the chart where I think it's going to run into some resistance again. And that was this area right here. I put it up a little higher. Would have had it right there off of that, that tail there, but we know it's an area. So dropped it there. And I said, all right, I'm gonna just watch this until it gets down to this area. This is where I want to be getting out of the trade at. And look at it. It came pretty much right to it. I was trying to drop a line right there, but it came right to it. And then it turned. So once it came down, I moved my stop to just on the upside of here. And I said, okay, if it comes back up, I'm going to let it stop me out, because at that point, I think it's going to bounce off of this area. And we see what it's done. It's pretty much bounced off of it, and it's just been chopping around. Got out of them. Again, thought being, if it breaks this area, comes back and retest and go down, we'll just buy some more contracts. But let's go ahead. We locked in $100. Let's lock that $100 in. And if another trade presents itself, we'll take it. And like I said, right now, I don't see another trade presenting itself at all. But there was another trade that I wanted to take that I missed. I'm going to pull that one up real quick. And that was on Coin. Look at what Coin did this morning. I wanted to take a call play. And you see, I even loaded up the contract. I wanted to get in right here. We see that this opened, broke VWAP, came back and tested it. I wanted to get in here. I was watching it up in here. I missed it when it made this move, and that was it. No FOMO trading. I'm trying to get that FOMO trading out of my system. This contract was probably about $100 when I dropped it over here, because it's just about doubled. The delta right now is 0.58. When I dropped it, the delta was at about 0.25. It was at about 0.25 when I dropped it over here. And man, this here was a beauty. Could have rolled this up. Being in the money, possibly held it for the pullback to see if it was going to fail. But we see that it didn't. It just kept on moving. So this was a nice one that we missed, but it's all good. We'll miss them, and sometimes we'll catch them. But those were our trades today. Just those two AMC trades, and basically hit our target for the day. And we will be ready to get at it again tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead, wrap this one up, go run and grab me some lunch, and be back at it again tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the recap. I didn't record today's. I didn't have OBS pulled up when the market was open, so wasn't able to record it. I won't be able to go back and probably do another little recap on it. But I still have CYN that I want to recap. That was a stock trade that I took, so be on the lookout for that. And please, 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 please hit that like button for me if you don't mind. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. We are slowly growing over here at LMD Trading, where I am, of course, living my dream trading, earning while learning, and learning while earning. That's what it's all about. If we could take small trades, get base hits, don't blow up our accounts, eventually, this market is going to turn and we'll start seeing some good daily profits. But right now, the goal is just to get base hits, just get solid base hits. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to wrap this up, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.